All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it here, guys. It looks like a classic GameCube and Dreamcast game is getting remastered on new systems, and that is Skies of Arcadia. This article was out there. Many of you guys asked me what is my opinion on it, what's going on with it, where did it come from, and everything, because as many of you guys know, I am a huge Skies of Arcadia fan, and if you don't know, well, now you know at this point. I love me some Skies of Arcadia. I 100%ed the game back on the GameCube, got the game on the Dreamcast as well, and it's a fantastic RPG that's well crafted, and honestly, it's a little bit graphically dated here and there, but when it comes to gameplay, it's very much on point. It's got some awesome cool mechanics in there, and it's just an overall great game. So it would be a really dope remaster to bring back. But let's get into the topic here and what this rumor is all about. So at a recent episode of the Xbox Era podcast, they made the lofty claim that Sega is working on a remaster of the cult classic RPG Skies of Arcadia. This is via David Vincent. Now, Nick Baker outright claims to have seen screenshots of the project and that the only way the project doesn't happen is if Sega chooses to not release it for some reason. Now, provided that this is accurate, writes the Escapist magazine, this news will definitely make a lot of fans happy. It was great on the Dreamcast, it was fantastic on the GameCube, they added some extra stuff, but it flopped. It was critically acclaimed, but it didn't necessarily sell very well on the Dreamcast or the GameCube. Now, there was a rumored, or more like there was a PS2 version that was in production, but Sega ended up canceling it, and the whole team that made Skies of Arcadia was relocated to different staff. Now, a couple years ago, Sega did state that they do want to reboot classic and dormant IP, and games like Skies of Arcadia was on their slideshow. There was Knights, there was Skies, there was Comic Zone, there was all sorts of classic IP, I think, from that slideshow, and I do feel that Sega is looking at different classic IP. We've had Persona 3, Persona 4 come back. We've also had Shin Megami Tensei 3 come back. There are rumors with Shin Megami Tensei 4 and Shin Megami Tensei 4 Final coming back. And obviously with the eShop closing down recently, I think that some of these Nintendo 3DS titles could come back that Sega put out and other classic or dormant IP. So I do feel that it's possible that Skies of Arcadia gets a remaster. And it's something that I've heard, but it's through such a second/third/secondhand source, whatever the case is. I never wanted to report on it or talk about it too much outside of what's already been said out there. But I'm not saying that I have first-hand screenshots or anything like that. It's just information that's out there. Now, this guy with this Xbox Era podcast, I mean, it does seem like a pretty professional production. I did watch the part where they talked about here, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I completely trust everything they say because I don't watch the podcast normally, but they seem pretty convinced based off of the clip.
This answer, Skies of Arcadia, getting a remaster.
Cool.
There you go. You never played Skies of Arcadia. What the fuck did you play?
Oh, Skies of Arcadia. It's like one of the only JRPGs I actually liked. Like, it was so
I had a
good.
weird avenue into gaming then. And I kind of, let's just move that. Okay.
I may have seen screenshots of this Skies of Arcadia remaster.
Oh, hold on, let me hit the rumor mill button.
No, don't.
No, don't.
No one will even notice. No one will even notice that I
It's
said
already on WCCF Tech, The Gamer, and Gaming Leaks and Rumors.
No one will even notice.
That you guys can check out, link in the description, about what's going on here with Skies of Arcadia. So I do think it's not past Sega for it to get done. People have been asking for Skies of Arcadia for a remaster for quite some time. It would be probably a pricey thing. Skies of Arcadia is a massive GameCube and Dreamcast game, and it would need some work for sure on the graphics. I'm not sure how far they're going to go with it, but I do think that if they clean it up quite a bit and kind of put in some quality of life features in there when it comes to some like the autosaving and things like that, I think that Skies of Arcadia on the Nintendo Switch could be a massive game. Like, it could do incredibly well. We've seen games like Bravely Default 2. We've also seen games like Triangle Strategy and Octopath Traveler have great success on the Nintendo Switch. Xenoblade does well as well. I think Xenoblade has been fantastic, so I do think that there is room on the Nintendo Switch and other platforms as well for this, but I think this would definitely drive home with GameCube fans, because I know so many cult classic RPG fans that love this game across the GameCube and the Dreamcast. But going from possible to absolutely happening, I do want to discuss The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. There was that rumor of the Tears of the Kingdom OLED. That is true. There's also a Pro Controller coming, in addition to a carrying case. So we've got all the details here, in addition to a nice gameplay showcase from Mr. Aonuma. I reacted to it. I have my reaction up already. You guys can check that out. It's on the channel. My full reaction is up for you guys to watch, and also my edited reaction just with the gameplay and then my thoughts afterwards. But I wanted to go over a couple different things that I noticed from the presentation and what makes this to be probably like the best Nintendo Switch game. Honestly, I am super hyped for this, and I'll also address some stuff that other people are saying too as well with the game, because the opinions are kind of all over the place, but I think the general opinion is, okay, this is pretty crazy. So there is that 11-minute gameplay. You guys are going to be seeing the new gameplay here. It looks fantastic in my opinion. We do have a look at Link's new abilities, some new areas in the sky, but there really isn't much more than that. This was not a big story focused presentation, and it definitely seemed like Nintendo was trying to cut down on spoilers. They do not want to talk about the story. They don't want to talk about any of the characters in the game. They don't want to talk about what's going on with Link at this point and his outfit. They didn't talk about any of that. So there's still a lot to discuss. And Mr. Aonuma said that if they wanted to talk about everything that's been added to this game, it would take way too long. So rest assured, there is more than just this beginning area that's been in Breath of the Wild and a horse and the music and whatever the case is. There is a lot more to go over. Now let me go over some of the OLED stuff and the carrying case, just so we're all clear on that, and some stuff that I want to talk about, because I was able to pre-order this bad boy, or these bad boys more like it. So we do have a Switch OLED model, the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom edition. It'll launch on April 28th for $359.99. Now a Switch Pro Controller, the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom edition, and Switch carrying case will also be available on May 12th for $74.99 and $24.99 respectively. Now here's the thing here, guys, with these pre-orders, I was able to pre-order it hours after it went live on Best Buy. I went straight to the store on there. I pre-ordered it. Best Buy has a new policy in place where you need to verify a phone number, and then they send a verification code to the phone number. Then you need to punch that in. You need to get in line. It's very well done, and it was executed flawlessly, which is why I was able to pre-order the system hours later. Like, the pre-orders went live in the afternoon around my time, 1 o'clock or so. I started my stream around 5 something, and I think I started the pre-order like around 6, and I was able to pre-order it. So it seems like things are going well for this, and it's not going to be too hard to pick it up based on where you are. So awesome stuff there. I was able to pre-order the Pro Controller from GameStop, no problem as well. So I'm set. I'm ready to go for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on May 12th. Now let's talk about this new gameplay here, because one thing that I can say for sure is that there is no other game right now in the modern age that is like Tears of the Kingdom. This is absolutely incredible. The weapon fusion system is one of the most creative fixes for a complaint that I've ever seen in a game. Now, a lot of people are asking like, hey, let's put a blacksmith in there. Heck, I said that myself. Just put a blacksmith, make it to where you can recover your weapons, or you can fix them, or you go to like a campfire and you can fix them. They said, oh no, you don't have to worry about any of that. You are the blacksmith by this fusing Sheikah Slate thing. You can just boom, add it right there to your weapon and continue fighting and get much more durability. Now, he just used ghetto little basic weapons with a tree branch and a stone. Imagine when you start getting more advanced weapons, like with the fire swords and the ice swords and all of that. Now, also the customization with the items that you get for resources is dope. Being able to put it onto an arrow and have it hone in on an enemy is super cool. And once again, a creative use for resources, and in addition to fight, and also very creative in fixing the problem with weapon breaking. So if you're a fan of weapon breaking, heck, just keep at it. Just keep having the weapons break. If you're not, use the fusion system and completely fix your weapon right there with the stone or anything else attached to it. Very incredible things with that. Really dope gameplay. Now, another thing that I really liked about this gameplay as well was just the scope and scale. The game obviously looks very similar graphically. They're reusing assets, and the textures, obviously engine is reused, but it's a follow-up. So I don't really have too much of a problem with that, because they're adding so much cool stuff into the game. There's a lot of new mechanics, a lot of new gameplay, a lot of new things that Link can do, and it's just the beginning as well. But one of the things that really stood out to me was the seamless seamlessness of the open world. The combat was dope, I love that, but he got knocked off the platform, Link did, and he fell all the way down and he just went to a skydive right back onto the ground. So if you're looking at that, I can't think of another game that has the verticality of Tears of the Kingdom, that you're able to seamlessly transfer from all these areas that are above, go all the way and drop down below and be able to go back. Now remember, they didn't show every single ability. There is an ability where Link can actually use water, and he goes into the water and then he teleports up from there to one of the pillars, because Link can use a new power to go through ceilings. So if you're low on stamina or you don't feel like you could make it all the way up there, bam, you can go through a ceiling, and a lot of ceilings you can go through. So that stuff right there is just crazy innovation. And obviously there is more with the Ultra Hand as well. And with the Ultra Hand, you can make different types of vehicles or contraptions in order to probably hit enemies with, but also to ride across Hyrule, to go over the water, to fly. There's propeller based ones. It is insane the type of customization and gameplay options that this game has. Once again, I don't think I've ever seen another game be able to climb anywhere, go anywhere, pretty much make anything, and seamlessly transition from different areas from that high into the sky onto the ground. The amount of customization in this game is nuts. There's no other game on the market right now like it at this point, because remember, you can climb anywhere. You can still climb anywhere. You can still pretty much go anywhere that you can see. They've improved the draw distance quite a bit. It's not quite as foggy. Obviously, the Nintendo Switch hardware is showing a little bit of its age when it comes down to everything, and I completely get those complaints when it comes to it. But at the end of the day, if you're looking at this game compared to many other games on more powerful systems, they're not doing what this game is doing. Like, once again, show me another game that has all this different type of customization to where you can climb anywhere, any open AAA type of game, open world AAA action RPG or RPG out there, or adventure game that has you being able to do all of this in this type of way. It's almost unheard of, especially with the customization that you can do on the fly with the physics and everything. It is nuts. It's insane. And the verticality too is something that just no other games have, because it's hard to have that stuff that's all the way up in the sky, and there's going to be underground areas as well. I am completely enamored with this game, and I think that it's going to be a Game of the Year contender for sure, if not outright my Game of the Year, because I know they're just really holding back and they're not showing everything. They want players to go into it and expect something new, expect something fresh, and not be ruined or spoiled by it. I can understand how some still want to be wowed, like they were wowed with the original Breath of the Wild, but you're not going to get that with the sequel or follow-up, like Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 2, or God of War 1 to God of War 2, or God of War 2018 to God of War Ragnarok. I mean, some people might be, but it's going to look very similar. So I completely get those complaints, and they're valid, but I think that the gameplay improvements here, just a small snippet combined with what we've already seen, tells me that there is enough new here to make it a true sequel, and it's something that Nintendo has done before. So for example, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time to the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, same assets and stuff like that. They just switched things around, had a different area Link went to, but it's a shorter game, not quite as big of a scope of a game. So to me, this goes above and beyond what Breath of the Wild is doing and fixes many of the issues that people did have with Breath of the Wild. And I think that there's going to be a pretty elaborate and good story in this game too, since they're completely avoiding it at this point. So we'll see if they add the dungeons and some of the other stuff that people are looking for when it comes to it. But I think that there's going to be a lot of secrets, a lot of cool stuff, and a lot of things to get into. I think that Hyrule is going to change quite a bit over the course of the adventure. So we're going to have to wait and see on that. But I completely understand some of the criticisms. I completely understand the praise, but I think that there's nothing else on the Nintendo Switch like it. And it shows that if you've got that much time to develop a game and that much type of talent, this is what you can create on the Nintendo Switch, because there's honestly nothing that even comes close to it when it comes to open world RPGs, open world action games, or adventure games. Nothing that even comes close to looking on the Nintendo Switch as good as this game, with the draw distance in addition to what you can do, everything all considered, not in just small areas. So very impressive, at least in my opinion. But going from that to something that's not very impressive, it looks like Sega and Level Infinite are skipping the new E3. Plus, more companies have been rumored to skip. E3 might be dead, and I will have another video talking about this in a bit. But yeah, this is not looking good for E3. So both Sega and Tencent subsidiary Level Infinite will not attend E3 2023, the two companies announced. Quote, after careful consideration, we have decided to not participate in E3 2023 as an exhibitor, Sega said in a statement provided to IGN. We look forward to sharing more information on announced and unannounced projects in the future. Now, a Level Infinite spokesperson also confirmed it will not attend the event. IGN reached out to a number of other publishers regarding the plans to attend E3 2023. Bandai Namco declined to provide an update, but confirmed it would attend Jeff Keighley's in-person media-only event Playdays, which was also held in 2022 in early June. Level Infinite also confirmed its attendance, so they are jumping ship over to Jeff Keighley's event. Devolver Digital, which never actually attends E3 but sets up its own event in an adjacent parking lot, said it also has no plans to attend the event this year, but is currently well underway in the production of its annual Devolver Direct scheduled for June. IGN also reached out to Activision Blizzard, Electronic Arts, Embracer Group, Epic Games, Square Enix, Take-Two, and Warner Bros. Games, but did not hear back in time for the publication. The outlet reports that it understands more publishers plan to skip E3 2023, but have yet to make an official announcement. Now, E3 2023 will run from June 13th to the 16th at the Los Angeles Convention Center. So far, Ubisoft and Nintendo have confirmed they will not attend. Microsoft is reportedly planning to host its own physical event the week before E3 with an Xbox Game Showcase confirmed for June 11th, and Sony Interactive Entertainment has not participated at E3 since E3 2018. So it's looking like this might be the death knell for E3. A lot of companies are backing out, pulling out, going to Jeff Keighley's events, and pretty much the years of bad press, COVID, and also the leak of stuff there caused this to happen, along with the rising costs and other things as well. Now, there's a bigger issue that I will talk about in the future, but for right now, things aren't looking so good for E3, and it looks like it might be dead at this point. But speaking of a game that's not dead, we're talking about Melty Blood. Yes, Melty Blood. Type Lumina has shipments and digital sales that cross 400,000 units. Remember, guys, this is a smaller indie style of fighting game. So to see Melty Blood do this well is absolutely something that we need to discuss here, because it is a very good thing to see a small scale fighting game have this many people out there. You know, probably 300,000 plus. The shipments are at 400,000, so 350,000 plus people that have the game in their hands playing and enjoying this title. So total shipments have surpassed 400,000 units plus for the game. Melty Blood Type Lumina launched digitally for the PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC via Steam on September 30th, 2021 worldwide. Now in Japan, the PS4 and Switch versions are also available physically and sold at least 30,000 copies plus at retail. Now the Xbox One, Switch, and PC versions of Melty Blood are currently on sale for 40% off discount price, including both the standard and deluxe editions, so it might be a great time to pick that up. Those sales go through April 6th, PC through April 9th. So awesome stuff there to Melty Blood. I wanted to give them some love. And of course, if you want to pick up Melty Blood, go check it out. It's a really cool 2D fighting game, and it has rollback netcode. It's got some really nice competitive play. I think that some of you guys might like it, and I wanted to give them some love for being able to get 400,000 sales when it comes to what they've shipped to stores, what they've sold there. 400,000 for this type of game is very, very good. Lower development budget, pretty much an indie fighting game at this point. So I'm very happy for them. And this shows that these type of games can have success. I'd be very interested to see the breakdown between like PC, Switch, Xbox, PlayStation. I wonder how those sales were split up, but I don't think they're going to give us that information. So what do you guys think about everything here, guys? That wraps it up for this video. Please make sure you check out my reactions to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom if you haven't seen it, or some of my other videos, like my top games to buy now before they go rare. A lot of Switch games are going rare, or even my video talking about what games we could see as launch titles or launch window games for the next-gen Nintendo Switch. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you for the next video. Peace.